Hey, this is Maria from English Without Fear. Today, I'm going to talk to you about fear, about what I used to be afraid of as a teenager and what I am afraid of now as an adult woman. So watch, listen, and just try to understand as much as you can.
English Without Fear, where you can learn to speak English naturally through listening to stories.
So, what was I afraid of? What scared me when I was a teenager? When I was 15, 16, 17 years old? I remember two things that frightened me as a teenager. But before then, when I was a child, I was not afraid of anything. I was not afraid of spiders. I was not afraid of big dogs. I was not afraid of falling. I was not afraid of the dark. But when I became a teenager, I became afraid. I became afraid of the dark one night when across the street from my house, a man was murdered. He was killed in his house one night. They never caught the killer, and that scared me. After that, after my neighbor died, after he was killed, was murdered one night, I was afraid of the dark. I was afraid of nighttime. I did not like nighttime. The other thing that scared me, that frightened me, that made me a bit nervous was flying an airplane. When I was 16 years old, I took flying lessons to pilot a small airplane. What can be dangerous in a small airplane are the other planes all around. So I was a bit scared, a bit fearful of not seeing the other planes. But that was a good thing. Being afraid, being a bit fearful made me pray and watch carefully. So those were the two things that scared me when I was younger. Well, what about today? What scares me now? What am I frightened of? I still do not like the dark. I don't like nighttime. I love the light. I love daytime. But what scares me now, what frightens me, is the thought of something bad happening to my children or to my grandchildren. Not every day, but when they are in the car, when they are traveling by airplane, I am afraid that something bad or dangerous will happen to them. So I pray. I ask God to protect them. And the other thing that scares me today, these days, as an adult, is when I drive a car or when I ride in a car that my husband drives. Why am I afraid of driving in a car? I think I'm afraid of driving in a car because of the other drivers. You never know how they are going to act. You never know if other drivers are drinking alcohol or smoking marijuana or are crazy or are angry at someone else, but they drive aggressively. They drive not carefully. That is what scares me, other drivers. So, what do I do when I'm afraid? When I'm scared? I pray to God and ask God to protect me. Well, what about you? What are you afraid of? And are you afraid of different things now as an older person? And what do you do when you are afraid? Do you pray to God? Leave me a comment below this video. Write me what scares you. Well, this is Maria from English Without Fear. Talk to you next time.
Thanks for watching. For a free downloadable guide to how you can accelerate and grow your English learners' spoken language, go to this website, englishwithoutfear.com/3keys.